What's really good, my people? Kiwami Games here, back at it with another video for you guys. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we have none other than Snake Eyes with Vampires. What am I doing here? Are we copium or is this a real deck? Nah, homie, I really think this is a real deck. So to get things started, this might be a little long intro, so if you just want to skip to the replays, I'll leave some timestamps down below. But I just want to explain a couple of things here. So first of all, I was running more vampire cards than Snake Eyes cards in the beginning, but then as you can see, I decided to flip it. I went with more of the Snake Eyes package than the vampire package, and the reason is because the vampire package was breaking me way too much, and this is one of the things that I kind of wanted to alleviate when playing vampires. I wanted to find an engine that can give us extenders. I wanted to find an engine that can give us multiple starters. So that's why I felt that the Snake Eyes package just might be the thing that we need. And surprisingly, things work out very, very well. So without further ado, a couple other things. Kurikara, you already know I love this card, but I feel like maybe we can cut it because it didn't really come up very, very often. And I don't know, maybe you can run a cross-out designator instead of the Kurikara, or maybe an effect veiler, because when we play Maxi, and if our Maxi resolves, you really want to draw into your hand traps, because there was a time where like I played against a Mathmech and he took the Maxi challenge, but unfortunately I did not draw into enough hand traps and he just OTK me through the Maxi challenge with the Access Cold Talker and the Update Jammer and stuff like that. So I do think that we can probably cut the Kurikara and throw in maybe like another Ghost Mourner or like an Effect Veiler. Also, I threw in a Nibiru. I was not playing Nibiru, but I threw in Nibiru for those purposes, like going second if our Maxi resolves. Other than that, I was also running the Forbidden Droplet. This card right here. So I was also running the Forbidden Droplet, and I cut it just because I really wanted something that I can use going second. So like that's why I stuck with 3 Infinite Permanents, because we can use it going second right off our hand, while the Forbidden Droplet is a great board breaker, but I just thought the Infinite Permanents was coming in more clutch. And yeah, so that's pretty much the deck. I'll go over each card at the end of the video, so I just wanted to quickly explain what we're trying to achieve here. And I kind of just wanted to give the vampires a support system that allow us to play through interruptions, allow us to have multiple 1-card starters, allow us to have multiple starters, and allow us to set up multiple interruptions and negates. Because the vampire package, as you've seen in my previous videos, you know, our weaknesses is that we cannot play through a lot of interruptions. We usually have to rely on the vampire ghost to start things off, and sometimes we can brick. So with the Snake Eye package, I feel like it alleviated a lot of those things that we wish that vampires could be. And also in terms of the vampire package, I decided to kind of go with sort of like a vampire void build. So I build around this card. How can I get this card as quickly as possible? Another thing I was playing with was the Zombie World package. So I had a Banshee, I had the Foolish Burial, and I also had the Zombie World. I decided to cut those 3 cards because it was just not very consistent. I was not getting Zombie World onto the field as consistently as I wanted to, and then I just felt like it was bricking me more than anything. So if you look in our extra deck, instead of playing a Sucker, I decided to throw in an Anima, because without Zombie World, I felt like Vampire Sucker was just not gonna perform at its optimal. So that's the reason why I decided to cut the Zombie World package out of it, and instead I went with 2 Bonfires. And yeah, so without further ado, let's just jump right into the replay so you guys can see how the deck performs and you can see more or less what we're trying to do. And yeah, all right, my people, so in our first replay, I just want to say a couple things. This was before the season started, so this was in Masters rank. I was playing this specific duel, and what I want you guys to take away from this duel is just to see the potential that the deck has. Because there's a little something that happens at the end of this duel, but I really wanted to showcase this specific duel so that you guys can kind of see the potential that the deck has. Okay, so we're gonna start off with our Vampire Ghost. We're gonna discard the Familiar. He's gonna hit me with the Ash Blossom. Alright, and then I'm gonna activate Triple Tactics Talent. I'm gonna draw 2 cards. Alright, lucky for us, we drew into our Sinful Spoils. Then he's gonna hit me with the Maxi. Okay, so we got our Ash Blossom, so we're gonna negate that. Alright, and then now with our Familiar, we're gonna send the Ghost to the graveyard, special summon the Familiar, and then the Familiar is gonna search us our Vampire card. And then here we're gonna search for Void. Alright, and then now I'm gonna go into the Linkuriboh, which is crazy, bro. The Linkuriboh got banned in the TCG. Yo, I hope that never happens in Master Duel, bro, because Linkuriboh is necessary in the Vampire package. But anyway, so we special summon our Ash with the Sinful Spoils, and now we can go into our Snake Eyes package. So we get the Poplar. The Poplar is going to activate, searching for our field spell. We're going to set the Flame Birch to the graveyard and the back row. And then with the Snake Eyes Ash, we're going to send the Poplar and the Ash to special summon the Oak. And then now the Poplar is going to set the Ash in our back row. And we're going to special summon the Poplar. Then we're going to send the Ash and the Oak so that we can special summon our Flame Birch. And then with these 2 monsters, we're going to go into our Masquerina. Alright, and then now the Flame Birch is going to activate, so we can special summon 2 of our level 1 Snake Eyes package. But here, instead of continuing with the Snake Eyes, I'm going to activate my Ghost in the graveyard so that I can normal summon Void, so we can get her out onto the field. Okay, then we're going to activate her effect. We're going to steal the Maxi and we're going to steal the Ash Blossom. And then with these 2 monsters, we're going to go into our Zombie Vampire. Okay, then we're going to activate the Vampire, discarding the Maxi, mill 4, special summon a Kashtira Unicorn. Alright, now unfortunately for us, we don't really have a lot of negates. Here, I thought maybe I could have tried to go into the Promethean Princes and stuff like that. I think that's where I kind of messed up. But anyway, so we're playing against, I think it's Kashtira Snake Eyes, if I remember correctly. So he's going to special summon the Fenrir. Okay, that's going to trigger my field spell to special summon the Flame Birch back onto the field. Okay, yep, so he's going to normal summon the Ash. And then now here, this is where Void comes in clutch in the mirror match. So he's going to activate the Ash, and I'm going to be able to negate it with the Void because as long as there's a monster of the same type or whatever of the same monster in the graveyard, Void is going to be able to negate it. So since we have an Ash in the graveyard, then we can negate the Ash on the field. So Void comes in clutch when playing in the mirror match. Okay, so now he's going to try to banish my Masquerina. So with the Masquerina, I'm going to go into our Underworld Goddess. And the reason why I go into the Underworld Goddess is because now I can shut down his Ash from being able to send itself to the graveyard. And then also I can negate anything that might want to activate in the graveyard as well. And then now the Flame Birch is going to activate. So we bring back our Ash and we bring back our Poplar. We're going to search the, with the Poplar, we're going to search for our Kurikara. And here, like I said, because the Goddess is going to negate everything on the field, he's going to try to activate his Ash, but it's going to fail. So now he special summons the Unicorn. The Unicorn is going to get him the Birth. Alright, and then now he's going to go into the Diabell Star. Okay, then the Diabell Star is going to search for the Sinful Spoils. Then the Birth is going to try to bring back one of his Kashtiras, but I can negate it with the Underworld Goddess. Alright, then the Unicorn is going to banish my Vampire Dampier. I'm surprised he went out of all the monsters in my extra deck, he goes for my Dampier. Okay, so now he's going to special summon the Oak. Oak is going to bring back the Ash. And then now with the Black Witch and the Ash, he's going to go into the Hida. Okay, then the Hida is going to steal my Flame Birch. Alright, then the Flame Birch is going to push back my Zombie Vampires, and then now he's going to go into the Promethean Princes. Alright, then he's going to activate the Oak so that he can special summon his own Flame Birch. And then now with the Flame Birch and the Promethean Princes, he's going to go into the Ambler Whale. And I also want to say, like, this was pretty much the first game that I played when I made this deck. So pardon me if you saw that I could have made better choices, but this was literally the first game that I played when I first made the deck. So I was not perfect with it. I was still learning the Snake Eyes package because I do not play Snake Eyes, so I had to like learn how to play Snake Eyes. Alright, so he is going to activate the Zealantes. He's going to banish everything. Alright, so now he brings everything back. He's going to bring back my monsters into attack position. He's going to bring my Void, but flip down. Then that's going to trigger his Promethean Princess. He's going to try to pop my Underworld Goddess, but we're protected. Alright, and then he's going to special summon the Emblem Whale. And then here is, like I mentioned, because I was not on my A game. This was the first game that I played, so I was doing a lot of reading and I was doing a lot of thinking and the timer, bro. So that's what happened over here. I lost because I timed out, because I was just trying to think ahead and I was just trying to think, what should I do here? What should I do now? What would be the best play? But anyways, what I tried to do here, because he's going to try to attack over my Underworld Goddess, and I have Linkuriboh in the graveyard. So I'm going to activate Linkuriboh. But before I could activate Linkuriboh, I freaking timed out, bro. So I was going to be able to reduce his Emblem Whale to 0, and I was going to be able to protect my Underworld Goddess, and then on my turn, I was going to be able to survive, and I would have definitely been able to kick his ass at the end. But like I said, this was my first game, so I was just doing a lot of thinking and a lot of stuff, so I lost to the time limit. But what I wanted to showcase more importantly is the potential. As you can see, like, the deck works really, really well. And in order for it to perform at its optimal, you really need to be very knowledgeable about vampires, and you need to have good knowledge about Snake Eyes. If you do not know how to pilot both decks, then you might have to practice a lot at first before being able to play the deck at its full potential. But without further ado, let's jump into some more spicy replays. Alright, my people, so in this replay, we are going to go up against Rescue Ace. Alright, we're going to go first. Okay, so we're going to activate by setting up our bonfire, searching for the Poplar. Poplar, when it's added to the hand, she can special summon herself. We're going to special summon the Poplar. We're going to try to get our field spell, but our opponent's got the Ash Blossom. Alright, so now we normally summon our Ghost, send Familiar to the graveyard, add Sorcerer, send Retainer, activate Familiar, get rid of our Ghost, special summon Familiar. Familiar is going to search for Void. Then we're going to activate Retainer, send Sorcerer to the graveyard, activate Retainer, get our Omni-Negate Trap card. Okay, then we're going to go into Linkuriboh. Alright, and then now with the Linkuriboh and the Poplar, we're going to go into our Hida. And since he used Ash Blossom, so Ash Blossom is a fire, so I can steal that Ash Blossom from his graveyard. Alright, and then now with the Hida and the Ash Blossom, we're going to go into our Promethean Princess. And then here I kind of made a misplay. I kind of wanted it to get the Poplar instead of the Hida, but I accidentally put the Poplar back in our back row. But anyway, so lucky for us, we were still able to get the Hida. So now with the Hida and the Promethean Princess, we're going to go into our Emblem Whale. Alright, and then we're going to set Infinite Permanence, and we're going to set our Omni-Negate Trap card. And then here I didn't activate, even though I have Sorcerer and Vampire Ghost in the field, I didn't activate it because my opponent only has the Ash Blossom, so I was not going to be able to make like a zombie vampire or anything like that. Alright, so our opponent's got the Poplar. Poplar is going to activate. He's going to search for the Sinful Spoils. Okay, then with the Poplar, he's going to go into the Linkuriboh. Okay, then the Poplar is going to set herself to the back row. Okay, then he's going to activate the Sinful Spoil, sending the Poplar back into the graveyard, special summoning the Hydrant. Here I'm going to hit the Hydrant with the Infinite Permanence because I don't want him to search for the Preventer or the Turbulence. And then here he has the Emergency, so the Emergency is going to be able to kind of put the Hydrant back into the hand, and is going to be able to dodge the Infinite Permanence. So I'm going to have to negate the Emergency with my Trap card. Alright, so we negate that emergency. And then now we can negate the hydrant with the infinite permanence. Okay, then now he's going to normal summon the airlifter. So the airlifter is going to search for the alert. Alright, and then now with these three monsters, he's going to go into the Promethean Princess. Alright, and then here that's going to trigger my Promethean Princess. So I pop his Promethean Princess before he can special summon any fire monsters from the graveyard. But he has the Preventer in hand. Here I'm going to activate my Ghost. So I'm going to pay 500 light points so that I can normal summon Void. Alright, and then now with the Void, I'm going to steal 2 monsters from the graveyard. And the reason why I go into the Void is because, I don't know, he had like a crazy hand, if you haven't noticed. Like, he had emergency, he had like the bonfire, he had so many things. So I was thinking like, yo, he could probably have Turbulence in his hands too. And Turbulence is going to require him to banish 2 rescue monsters from the graveyard. So just in case I want to prevent that, so that's why I go into the Void and I steal one of his rescues and I steal another Poplar. Okay, that's going to trigger the Promethean Princess to activate, but Void is going to negate monsters that activate in the graveyard. So we negate his Promethean Princess from popping off. And then my man is going to call it quits. And bro, we just took down the arguably one of the best decks in the game right now with Void. Holla. Alright my people, so in this replay we are going to go up against Adventure Spright. Now there's a couple things that I want you guys to learn from this replay. The one thing that I want you to learn is so that you guys can see how we can play through about like 5 interruptions or so. So that's one thing I want you guys to take. And then I also want you guys to learn from a terribly misplay that I made that I should have known better as a vampire player for such a long time. I completely miscalculated. But reason is that this was also one of my first games that I was playing when I made the deck. So again, I wasn't 100% like a master of it. I mean, I don't still think I'm 100% master of the deck, but it was a little silly misplay on my part that I overlooked that I should have known better as a vampire user. But anyways, I'm gonna fast forward this a little bit. So he's just gonna set up his adventure stuff. Then now he's gonna go into his sprite stuff just to save a little time. Okay, he's gonna go into the gigantic sprite because I don't have any hand traps, so he's just gonna be able to full combo. Okay, then he's gonna go into the sprite elf. Then he's gonna go into the pick knight. Then he's gonna bring back the hero kid, and the hero kid is gonna get another hero kid, and he's gonna go into the Masquerina. Alright, and then it's up to us. So here, what we got? We got the Masquerina, we got the Pick Knight, and we got the Griffin, and we got the Draco back. Alright, let's see what can we do. Okay, so first we're going to special summon our Black Witch by discarding our Wanted. Activate the Black Witch, he's going to activate the Double Cross. So the Double Cross is going to steal my Black Witch. Alright, and then I get the Subversion. I activate the Subversion so that I can force out the Masquerina or force out the Griffin. I wanted one of the two to activate. So lucky he kind of go for the Griffin because the Griffin is an Omni Negate. Alright, then I activate my Wanted so that I can draw a card, and we draw into Bonfire. So I activate Bonfire, searching for the Poplar. And now the Poplar, because it was added to the hand, it can special summon itself. Then we activate the Poplar, that's going to trigger the Elf. He's going to bring back his Jet, and then that's going to trigger the Pick Knight. So the Pick Knight is now going to be able to negate my Poplar. Then the Jet is going to search for the starter. Bro, how many interruptions has that been already? Alright, so with the Poplar, we're going to go into the Linkaribo. Alright, then the Poplar is going to set itself onto the back row. And then here he's going to go into the Masquerina. And then he's going to go into Underworld Goddess. Alright, then I'm going to activate 1 for 1, discarding our Sorceress, special summoning our Familiar. Familiar is going to activate, searching for Void. And now I'm going to normal summon our Ghost. And then with the Familiar and the Ghost, I'm going to go into our Dark. Okay, then I'm going to activate the Dark, trying to steal his Masquerina, but more importantly, I wanted to bait out that Goddess Negate, because now I can activate my vampires in the graveyard without worry. Okay, and then here we go into the Fascinator. So unfortunately I kind of had to get rid of my Omni Negate, but here is the misplay. So here I completely forgot that Fascinator locks you into zombies only, and this is going to be what's going to cost me the game. Because what I should have done first was I should have gotten Void out on the field, because I do have my Ghost and I do have my Sorcerer. If I would have gone the Void out first, then I could have stolen 2 cards from his graveyard. But because I activated the Fascinator first, now when I normal summon Void, I won't be able to special summon any of his monsters because none of these are zombies. So that's the misplay that I want you guys to kind of learn from my mistake. Whenever you have Fascinator, make sure that you do any other plays that you need to do, and then you activate Fascinator, because you're going to be locked into zombies. Alright, and then I steal the Elf, and then now I activate the Sorcerer. And then here, remember guys, when you activate the Sorcerer, the game is going to ask you if you want to chain link the Ghost. Make sure that you click no, do not chain link the Ghost, or you're going to screw this up. Alright, and then now we can normal summon Void without having to pay tribute. And because I'm locked into zombies, I was not able to steal 2 monsters from my opponent, so now I have to use my Void and the Sprite Elf. Alright, and then I steal his zombie because, I steal his Ash Blossom because Ash Blossom is a zombie. And then here I think I was also running low on time again. And then in this replay, this is where I was using kind of like the zombie package. So I kind of wanted to show this too, like if you want to run the zombie package, as you can see, it was not really all that necessary, but this is why I kind of dropped the zombie package as well, the zombie world package. But terrible misplay on my part right there. Okay, so now he's going to be able to combo off, so we're going to fast forward this a little bit. He's going to go into the Gigantic Sprite. Okay, then the Gigantic Sprite is going to activate. I'm going to negate it with the Void because there's a Gigantic Sprite in the graveyard already. Okay, then that's going to trigger his Faithful Adventure, searching for the Griffin Rider. Okay, then the Griffin Rider, he's going to go into his second Elf. Alright, and then with the Elf, he's going to bring back the Masquerena. Alright, and then now he can attack into my Void. Alright, then we're going to activate the Zombie Vampire. That's going to trigger the Underworld Goddess to negate. Okay, so we normal summon our Familiar. Then I can trigger the Linkuriboh to get the Familiar into the graveyard. Alright, then he's going to bring back the Sprite Elf. He's going to search for the Carrot. And then here I crash into the Elf. But unfortunately for us, we have like no negates, man. Alright, and then now with these 2 monsters, he's going to go into his Mosquito. So the Mosquito is kind of crazy, bro. The Mosquito is going to allow him to burn me for 3,000. So he's going to put a counter on me. And because now the Zombie Vampire has a Mosquito counter, I can burn for 3,000. So he's just gonna burn me. And then unfortunately for us, we drew into a triple Tactus Talent, which is nothing really, no. So here the thing is, like, I wanted to bait out, but here I go for the draw 2, and the reason why I go for the draw 2 is because if I steal his Mosquito and then I try to burn him for 3,000, then he's still gonna be with 100 life points left, and then at the end of the turn I have to give him back his Mosquito. And then unfortunately I'm not running zoos or anything like that, so like I was not gonna be able to get rid of this Mosquito. So I draw into the Flamebird, and I draw it to a Maxi, and I was just like, alright, that's GG. So I'm just gonna go and smack myself for 3,000. But that little misplay with Fascinator is what I felt like really cost me the game. So I just really want you guys to learn from that mistake. If you have Fascinator on the field, before you activate her effect, make sure that you do any other kind of summonings that you want to do so that you don't lock yourself into zombies, and then that right there kind of ruined everything. But anyways, we learn from our mistakes, we keep our chin high, and we go to the next one. So on to the next duel. Alright, my people, in this replay we are going to go up against newly powered Altergeist. Okay, and we're going to go second. Now, Altergeist is a deck that I'm not too familiar. Like, I played against it maybe like 2-3 times, but that was like ages ago, and it's just a deck that I rarely saw. So here, like, I don't know if I might have misplayed or if I might have negated the wrong things or not, but anyways, like, I was just doing a whole lot of reading while trying to play. So I can't really commentate much because I'm not even sure exactly of everything that's going on right now, and he's gonna just like combo off. Like, I didn't even know that Altergeist can combo off so much like this. Alright, so I'm just gonna fast forward this a little bit so that we don't make the video too long, because I think most replays are like over 4 minutes. So we're just gonna let him do his thing. If any of you guys are like Altergeist experts, feel free to explain what's going on in the comment down below. Alright, so now he's going to activate the protocol. So now the protocol makes it that the activation and effects of Altergeist cards activated on your field cannot be negated. And when your opponent activates a monster effect, you can send one other face-up Altergeist card you controlled, and you can send it to the graveyard and you can negate. Alright, so we're going to start things off by activating our Wanted. Okay, that's going to trigger his revitalization. So he's going to target a Altergeist Link monster, and he's going to special summon it back onto the field. Okay, so we're going to search for our Diabell Star. Alright, and then now he's going to be able to special summon his Multi-Faker, and then the Multi-Faker is going to special summon Siliquitus. So the disruptions that he has are these. So this thing right here, you can send one card you control to the graveyard, then target one effect monster your opponent controls, take control of it, and then it becomes an Altergeist monster. And then he also has this card right here that you can tribute an Altergeist monster this card points to, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. So that's what we're working with right now. And then this thing right here makes it that I cannot negate any of his effects. Alright, so we special summon our Witch. Witch is going to search for nothing because, yep, he's going to negate the Witch. Alright, and then that's going to trigger the Siliquitus. He's going to bring back the revitalization to the hand. Okay, so now we normal summon our Ghost and then our Retainer. Alright, then that's going to trigger his other Altergeist monster. So he's going to spin this card back to the hand, but thank you, like that doesn't do anything to me. So we're going to send the Sorcerer, special summon the Familiar. Familiar is going to search for our Void. And then now we're going to go into our Relinquished Anima. And with the Relinquished Anima, I'm going to try to suck up his Link monster, but at the end of the day, I'm just trying to bait out the negates. Okay, so now I'm going to send the Ghost to the graveyard, special summon the Retainer. Okay, then I'm going to activate Sorcerer, activate Ghost, normal summon Void. Okay, now Void is going to steal 2 monsters. Alright, then now with his 2 monsters, we're going to go into the Zombie Vampire. Alright, and then here, before I activate anything, I'm going to just try to attack over his monsters because he still has a negate. Then he's going to activate this Spoofing. So I'm going to try to get rid of that negate. That's going to trigger his Hextia, but with the Void, I'm going to be able to negate it. Alright, and then now he's going to be able to negate my attack, but we can still attack over my Anima with the Retainer. And then now I'm going to mill cards because he cannot negate it. Okay, then we're going to activate our Wanted, draw in a card. Then the Oak is going to send the Void to end itself to the graveyard so that we can go into our Snake Eye engine. So we special summon the Ash. Ash is going to get our Popular. Popular is going to special summon herself, searching for the Field Spell. Field Spell is going to activate. We're going to set the Flame Birch. Okay, and then now with the Popular, we're going to go into our Link Haribo. Alright, then we're going to set the Popular to the back row. Okay, we're gonna activate the Ash, send in the Poplar and itself to the graveyard so that we can special summon a Flame Birch. Alright, then the Flame Birch is going to push back his level 4 monster. And then with these 3 monsters, we're gonna go into our Promethean Princess. Alright, that's gonna activate the Flame Birch to special summon the Poplar and the Ash from the graveyard. Then I'm gonna bring back the Flame Birch with the Promethean Princess. Alright, and then with these 2 monsters, we're gonna go into the Ambler Whale. Alright. Okay, and now we have an Omni Negate. I can steal his Link 4 monster whenever he special summons or normal summons a monster via my field spell. I can bring back also my Flame Birch if I want to. I got the Promethean Princess in the graveyard. Alright. So with that, I'm gonna activate my Flame Birch so that I can steal his Adminia. Alright, but he's gonna negate and destroy my Flame Birch. But upon doing so, it's gonna activate the Flame Birch. So now I can special summon my Snake Eyes monsters from the graveyard. Alright, so we search for Subversion. Okay, now he's gonna go into his own anima. But he cannot suck up anything because I don't have anything there. Then he's gonna activate this Melusik. If this card is sent from field to the graveyard, you can add an Altergeist monsters from your deck to your hand. So I'm gonna negate that with the Vampire Domination. And then he's gonna call it quits. That was crazy, bro, because Altergeist is such a controlled deck, but I think we flip the tables around him. We control the field like there's no tomorrow, man. But crazy duel. Alright, my people, so in this replay, we are going to go up against Kashtira Snake Eye again, if I remember correctly. Alright, this time we're going to go first. Alright, and our hand is not the greatest, so we're just going to set our Vampire, set our field spell, and set 2 back rows and end our turn. Alright, so he's gonna get his Black Witch. Black Witch is gonna search for the original Sinful Spoils, I believe. But before he does anything with the field spell, I'm gonna special summon my Poplar. Oh no, he gets the Wanted. Alright, and then with the Poplar, I'm gonna search for my Subversion. Okay, then he's gonna normal summon the Ash. I got Infinite Permanence, so we're going to put a stop to that. Alright, and then he's going to use the original Simple Spoil, special summoning another Ash. Okay, and then with the Ash, he's going to be able to send the Diabell Star to the graveyard, and then he's going to get the Poplar, but I am going to negate the Poplar with the Forbidden Droplet. Alright, and then these duels, I kind of want to show you how Forbidden Droplet can work, because I know I mentioned that I decided to cut it off, but I think Forbidden Droplet is still definitely a great card that you can run, but when it comes to hand traps, I think it's really up to you guys. Whatever hand traps you prefer, then I think you should run it. You can run hand traps as you see fit. Alright, so with the Linkuriboh, he's going to be able to set the Poplar to the back row, and he's going to crash into my Ghost. Alright, then we throw into the Oak. So with the Oak, I'm going to bring back the banished Poplar. Then the Poplar is going to activate, searching for my Sinful Spoils. Alright, then I'm going to send the Ash and the Oak so that I can special summon the Ash. The Oak and the Poplar, and then I can special summon the Ash. That's going to trigger the Poplar to set herself to the back row. And then the Ash is going to search for the Poplar. Okay, so now this Poplar can special summon herself from the hand. Okay, then I'm going to send the back row Poplar and the Ash so that we can special summon our Flame Birch. Okay, and then with the Poplar and the Flame Birch, we're going to go into our Masquerena. Alright, and then that's going to trigger the Flame Birch in the graveyard so that I can bring back the Poplar and bring back the Ash. Alright, and then now with the Masquerena and the Poplar, we're going to go into our Promethean Princess. Okay, and then the Promethean Princess is going to bring back our Flame Birch. Alright, and then with the Flame Birch, we're going to set the Masquerena to our back row. And then with the Promethean Princess and the Ash, we're going to go into our Ambler Whale. And then I'm going to set the Kuriboh into the back row. Alright, and then we're going to smack him for 5,800. Alright, and then he's going to activate his wanted. He's going to search for the Black Witch. Alright, so now in the draw phase, I'm going to bring back the Masquerena. And then if he normal summons or anything, I can steal either his Poplar or his Linkuriboh via the field spell. Alright, but he's going to send the Poplar to the graveyard so he can special summon the Black Witch. And the Poplar is going to activate. Alright, and then here I'm going to steal his Linkuriboh. Alright, and he's going to get the Sinful Spoils. He's going to activate the Sinful Spoils, sending the Poplar back to the graveyard. I'm going to activate the Masquerena here. Alright, and then with the Flame Bird, Masquerena, and the Ambler Whale, I'm going to go into our Apollo USA. Alright, then he's going to activate the Ash. I'm going to activate the Flame Birch. And then this was kind of like a misplay because now with the Flame Birch I kind of chain link blocked my own Appaloosa, but it's all good. Okay, then he's going to search for Kurikara. Okay, I'm going to activate the Ash. He's going to activate his own Ash. Alright, then he's going to activate the Oak. Oak is going to bring back the Poplar. Poplar is going to activate, but I'm going to negate that Poplar. I don't want him to search for the field spell because the field spell can be troublesome in the mirror match. Alright, then he's going to activate the Oak second effect. And here I'm going to activate the Appaloosa. And here, I don't know, I knew he has the Kurikara and I don't know why he didn't activate the Kurikara to tribute my Apollo USA. I don't know why he waited until I negate it, but whatever. Say that's going to trigger my Appaloosa. Alright, and then now he's going to attack into the Linkuriboh, and now because a Link 3 or lower monster was destroyed, that's going to allow me to banish my Ambler Whale, and now I can pop a card on the field so I can get rid of his Kurikara. So yeah, I think my opponent terribly misplayed here. Alright, so now with the with the Promethean Princess, I can bring back one of our Snake Eyes monsters and we continue popping off. So this is kind of like the Snake Eyes part of the deck. Alright, let's keep it moving. Alright, my people. In this replay, we are going to go up against Labrynth. Okay, so he's going to normal summon Ecclesia. I'm going to hit him with the Infinite Impermanence. Okay, I don't need him to search for any problematic cards. Alright, and then lucky for us, that's enough to put a stop to that so far. So he's going to set 2. Alright, then he's going to activate the Welcome Labrynth. I'm going to activate Maxi. Alright, so he's going to special summon his Lady. I'm going to draw into Poplar. I'm going to normal summon the Ash. Ash is going to search for the Poplar. Poplar is going to special summon herself onto the field. He's going to activate his own Maxi, but we got the Call by the Grave. We're going to dial those digits. I'm going to ask for Ramon at the mortuary. Ramon, we got a Maxi we need to send to the graveyard. Alright, Ramon is on his way. Okay, in the meantime, the Poplar is going to search for our field spell. Okay, then we're going to set the Flame Birch in the back row. Now we're going to go into our Linkuriboh. And then this is going to be typical Snake Eye stuff. So now the Poplar is going to set herself onto the back row, but my opponent has Ice Dragon Prison. So he's going to activate the Ice Dragon Prison. He's going to activate his Lady. Okay, so with the Lady, he's going to set a big Welcome Labrynth. And then with the Ice Dragon Prison, he's going to bring back my Ash so that he can banish... I mean, he's going to steal my Poplar so he can banish the Poplar and the Ash. But because he special summon a monster, that's going to trigger my field spell, so I'm able to bring the Flame Burst onto the field. And then now with the Sinful Spoil, I'm going to send the Kuriboh to the graveyard. Special summoning the Oak. Oak is going to bring back the Ash. Alright, and then before I do anything else, I'm going to wipe away his board. Alright, then I'm going to activate the Ash. Special summoning the Poplar. And now with the Poplar and the Flame Burst, we're going to go into our Masquerena. Alright, and then now that's going to trigger the Flame Burst to special summon our Snake Eyes monster. So we bring back the Poplar, bring back the Ash. And then now with the Masquerena and the Ash, we're going to go into our Promethean Princess. Okay, then the Promethean Prince is going to bring back our Flame Birch. And then we're going to activate the Flame Birch, bring back the Masquerena to our back row so that we can special summon her during our opponent's turn. And then with the Promethean Princess and the Poplar, we're going to go into our Ambler Whale. Alright, so we're going to activate the Flame Birch, bring back the Masquerena. Okay, he's going to normal summon the Ash. Here I'm going to activate the Masquerena and I'm going to go into the Unicorn. And the reason why I go into the Unicorn is because whatever he special summons up with that big welcome, I'm just going to spin that shit back. Alright, so he's going to special summon the Lovely. Then he's going to bring back the Ash Blossoms. He's going to activate the Lovely, activate the Welcome Labrynth. That's going to trigger my Unicorn. I'm going to get rid of my Ash. And I'm going to spin back that Lovely. Okay, then that's also going to trigger the Flame Burst to special summon back my Snake Eyes monsters from the graveyard. So we bring back the Poplar, we bring back the Ash. Okay, then now the Ash and the Poplar is going to activate. Okay, so with the Poplar I was going to try to search, but he's got the Ash Blossom. Which is cool, I'm cool with that, I'm fine with that. Because we still got Promethean Princess in the graveyard if anything. Alright, we draw into the bonfire, so I'm going to activate the bonfire, searching for our Ash. And then I'm going to go into Ash's Cold Talker. And the reason why I go into Ash's Cold Talker is because cards cannot activate in response to the Ash's Cold Talker. And it was going to be a quick wipe of these two cards. But he's a little smart, so before anything, he's going to be able to activate the transaction rollback that he has in the back row. So with transaction rollback, he's going to copy the Infinite Impermanence, so he's going to be able to engage the Ash's Cold Talker. Okay, so now we normal summon the Ash, and then with the Ash, I'm going to send the Poplar and the Ash to the graveyard so that we can bring back our Flame Birch. I'm going to activate the Flame Birch, bring back the Masquerena. Okay, then he's going to activate the Welcome Labyrinth. Okay, he's going to bring back his Lovely. Alright, and then that's going to allow me to, so because he special summoned the Lovely, that's going to allow me to activate my field spell to special summon my Masquerena. And because he also special summoned a monster, that's going to trigger the Promethean Princess in the graveyard. So I'm going to pop my Flame Birch and I'm going to pop his Lovely. But before he does anything, I don't know why he went for the Ambler Whale. At this point, I feel like he should have gone for the Flame Burst because that's what I was targeting. Alright, and then the Flame Birch is going to bring back my Snake Eyes monster. So, as you can see, bro, like, this is why I really wanted to play Snake Eyes with vampires, because the recursion that this deck has is just insane, bro. It is just, like, insane, the amount of gas and recursion that it has. So, I feel like it would go perfectly with vampires, that because that's something that it lacks, bro. Like, we lack recursion, and we lack extenders, and we lack so many things that Snake Eyes alleviates. And then anyway, so let's keep it moving. Alright, my people, welcome to the deck list of the video. Now, if you enjoyed the video and you stuck around to the end, then I would greatly appreciate it if you drop a like and hit that subscribe button. It will help me out, and it would help the video circulate around YouTube so that others who enjoy vampires and Snake Eyes may see the video and they may enjoy the content, because I don't think anybody has ever dared to mix vampires with Snake Eyes. But at this point, I feel like I can mix vampires with just about anything, and maybe I can make it work. I don't know. But without further ado, you know, how does the deck perform? I think the deck performed pretty well, and I was just surprised to see how well it performed and how well it synergized together. Even though we're running darks and zombies and fires and pyros and all of this stuff, I didn't feel like the deck prevented itself from doing what it needed to do. But yeah, the only card that kind of prevented me from doing anything was the Fascinator. So I think this is the only card that you kind of have to be careful with when using it. And also the Promethean Princess, because if you have Promethean Princess on the field, then you cannot special summon monsters unless if they're fire monsters. So I think these are the only two cards that you kind of have to be careful when you're playing the deck. But also, this is what I ended up going with at the end of the day. Now here, as you can see, I have Forbidden Droplet, Crossout Designator, Effect Veiler, and Kurikara. I think these 3 cards are also worth playing, but I don't want to make the deck over 41 cards, so it's really up to you. Like the hand traps, you kind of have to play around them and circulate and see what works best for you and what doesn't. But I think these cards are still really worth playing and are worth kind of experimenting with. I don't know if maybe you can cut a Diabell Star or something like that, and then you can throw in an Effect Veiler. Or I don't know, I mean, the Wanted is kind of great because the Wanted allows you to draw 1 card. So yeah, but other than that, it's really up to you guys. Like if you do decide to play the deck, I think these cards right here are really worth experimenting with. Again, nothing wrong with them, nothing bad, but it's just the deck is so tight and I don't want to run like a 45 card because then I don't know how consistent it would be. But without further ado, let's just jump right into the deck list. So to start things off, I have 2 Vampires Familiar, and the reason why I'm running 2 Familiars and 1 Retainer, 1 Retainer is because the only purpose the Retainer has is to search me my trap card, so that's why I only run 1. And then the Familiar is going to search me Void, and Void is really important to us, so I want to have many different ways of getting Void. And also the Familiar can search me the Ghost, or it can search me the Sorcerer if need be. So that's why I'm running 2 Familiars and 1 Retainer. And then I'm also running 2 Ghost because this is your Vampire combo starter. But I'm only running 2 because at 3, you know, because I'm not running a lot of Vampire cards, having Vampire Ghost at 3 sometimes can be a little bricky, because if you draw into it and you don't have another Vampire card, then it kind of becomes a dead card in the hand. And again, I feel that the Snake Eyes package, it's much better to start things off with the Snake Eyes package, and then like on turn 2 or turn 3, if you can go into your Vampire stuff and like you can kind of put the game to a closure, because you can kind of put out a lot of damage with the Vampire cards and you can set up a lot of interruptions. But I don't know, for me these ratios were working pretty good where I was not bricking so much, so that's why we're running 2 Vampire Ghost, 1 Vampire Sorcerer, 1 Retainer, and 2 Vampires Familiars. And then we have 1 Vampire Domination. And then for the extra decks, we have 1 Dhampir. Dhampir didn't come up a whole lot. You can kind of play around it whether you want to cut it or not, but I mean, it has its moments. When it pops up, it can pop off. And then we also have the Zombie Vampire. So those are like my Vampire package. And then now for the Snake Eyes, we're running 3 Snake Eye Ash, 1 Snake Eye Oak, 2 Snake Eyes Poplar, and then we are also running 2 Snake Eyes Flame Birch. And then in combination with that, we're also running 3 Diabell Star of the Black Witch. And then we're also running 1 Sinful Subversion. And we're also running 2 Bonfires. And we're also running 1 Field Spell. And we're also running 1 Original Sinful Spoils. And then we're also running 3 Wanted. So that's pretty much for like the Snake Eyes package. And then for the hand traps, I'm running 3 Maxi because, I mean, you know, what are we gonna do? Maxi. And then we have 3 Ash Blossoms to stop the Maxi. Then we have 1 Ghost Mourner. This can be an Effect Veiler, whatever you prefer. Like I mentioned, the hand traps is really up to you guys, whatever you want to run. And then I have 1 Nibiru. And then we have 2 Called by the Graves. And we have 3 Infinite Permanents. And yep, and then we, as an extender and stuff like that, I have 1 for 1. And that's another reason why I'm running Familiar, because 1 for 1 can special summon Familiar as well. So usually you will special summon the Ash or the Poplar, but the 1 for 1 can also search you your Familiar, and then when special summon, it can search you your Void. So that's another reason why I'm running 2 Familiar as well. Alright, and then now for the extra deck, we got the 1 Linkuriboh, we got 1 Relinquished Anima, we got 1 Hida, we have 1 Masquerena, 1 Dark the Dark Charmer, 1 Nightmare Unicorn, 1 Vampire Fascinator, 1 Promethean Princess, and then we have 1 Ambler Whale, 1 Appaloosa, 1 Estus Cold Talker, 1 World Z Zelantis, and 1 Underworld Goddess. And that's pretty much the deck. So let me know what you guys think about it. Do you really think this is like a viable deck, or do you really think I'm really copium? That's why I named the deck Are We Copium? But I don't know, it was a lot of fun, and it was really great to kind of play vampires in Masters rank. I never thought that I would be able to play vampires in Masters rank, because sometimes, you know, vampires can be kind of, yeah, you know, as much as I love vampires, but we need a whole lot of more support. But it was a lot of fun, and like I mentioned, it worked really well. I think if you have the Snake Eyes cards, then you could probably try to give this a try. I think you're gonna enjoy it. I think it's a lot of fun. But without further ado, thank you all so much. If you enjoyed the video, help a brother out, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Kiwami Games, peace out.